We're live. We're live.
And welcome to the Pacific Catch post-game show. I feel like we said this last game, but I think this is officially the worst game of the season. Andy Lou, what if I told you Steph Curry was returning? What if I told you Andrew Wiggins was back in the lineup? And what if I told you no Devin Booker, no Chris Paul, DeAndre Ayton? What would you say?
I would say I'm the happiest I've been as a Warriors fan in probably a month. And I was really excited to watch the game tonight. I had cleared my schedule, Sam, on a Tuesday night because I'm so busy. And I said, I'm going to sit down. And because we hate the Suns, I'm going to watch the Warriors beat them down. You know, maybe they start the game slow. Maybe they're up 6 or 7 at halftime, but they turn it up in the third. They go up 25. And we're all happy. And you and I are sitting here. We're talking about the Warriors as championship contenders again, you know, getting to the 3 seed. And it's not what happened tonight. It's not what happened.
No. I don't even know where to start with this, honestly. Like, rust expected, but lack of effort not expected. And we're officially at the halfway point. The Warriors are 20-21.
Jesus.
They are, I don't know, the 8-9 seed, something like that. It doesn't really matter, but at some point it does matter. Let's talk the game a little bit because there's two specific themes for this game. One, lack of effort for 3+ quarters. Like, they just kind of walked into the game. But the second one is actually what I want to open with you on, which is they're just chucking threes, man.
Yep.
They don't do anything else. They can't generate any sort of offense. It's a million little things. Personnel's part of it, but I'm just like, it's frustrating watching them where it's just like all it is like Poole 30-footer, Clay step into 28-footer, Steph into 30-footer. And it's not like we don't like watching those guys shoot, but it's the process, knowing that like there's no offense generating. It's just kind of like, all right, I'm shooting it up. Looks like pickup ball, you know?
It's been a symptom. It's been a problem. It's been the Warriors. It's frankly been a little shocking this season, the way they've leaned in. It feels like it's a coaching staff decision outside of just Steve Kerr. Feels like somebody on the staff, maybe multiple people are just like, you know what, this is the best way, right? You remember when Steph came into last season and just spammed threes all day long? And we were kind of sitting here like, maybe try the mid-range, right? Maybe try some of that. And it feels like the Warriors have, as an organization, as a team, gone all in. Everyone. Anthony Lamb shot 14 threes last game, and that's not going away anytime soon. Every single person, and it's not an Anthony Lamb problem. It's a Warriors problem. Everyone is doing it. And I think let's talk about the specific 5-minute stretch in the fourth quarter where you can tell the Warriors were trying to come back. And they were. They got stops. The momentum was on their side. We're used to watching the Warriors in that 5-minute stretch turn a 19-point deficit to a 6-point game with 8 minutes to go, right? And all of a sudden it's like, well, the Warriors are about to take, and it's over, right? But during that stretch, all the Warriors did, all Jordan Poole did was shoot threes. All Steph did was, I don't really know what he was doing for 3 quarters. All Clay did was pump threes up. Even like Andrew, like everybody, like you're saying. And so instead of actually trying to get a smart bucket, instead of saying pass, what Steve Kerr is always asking for, backdoor layup, something like that, they just spam threes. And all of a sudden you get 8 stops in a row, but you only score 8 points, right? So, and you're still down 15 with 8 minutes to go. So, yeah, man, I think that stretch to me spoke a lot about this team so far and who they've been all season.
I can't decide if it's personnel versus mindset. Like the lame answer is it's both, right? It's a little bit of A and it's a little bit of B. We saw them, like you said, in the beginning of the fourth quarter. Andrew Wiggins started getting into ball handlers. By the way, why were you not doing that all game? Not saying you should pick guys up 3/4 court, but like Phoenix didn't have a point. Damian Lee was playing point guard. By the way, shout out world champion Damian Lee. friend of the show, forever Warrior Damon Lee.
Cook the Warrior.
But what I was gonna say is they couldn't handle the ball. The minute the Warriors turn up the intensity, at least they changed the momentum. Like you said, too little, too late. Didn't have much else going, and all they could do is shoot threes. But like you could at least see when they put the effort in, they could win on just pure effort against what is quite frankly like an embarrassing team, right? On the other hand, I'm watching him and I'm like, unless it's transition, how is this team really generating layups? Really? Like where are they getting I guess this is where Wiseman comes in now. Where are they getting pressure on the rim? You know what I'm saying?
No less than 5 minutes. And 5 minutes in, that was well done. Even if it was a joke, well done. It's a quota that we have to hit. We're paid by Pacific Catch to do it. I think it's actually. I don't think it's personnel. There's so many years we've seen the Warriors with not that much shooting outside of Steph and Clay, and even just Steph, Clay, and Durant. We've seen so much of the Warriors just kind of guys that don't really do much. I think it's IQ. I just think it's guys that don't play the style that Steve Kerr has always wanted to play, which is only played by the smartest basketball players in the world. They got a Yi back, so it's cool. It allows them to play that style a little bit. I think some of that is messed up because Steph kind of just was invisible for 3 quarters. Some of it was Andrew Wiggins is invisible. Like it's what you expect, right? Like you said. But they just don't have the guy. Look at the guys that come off the bench, Sam. Like Ty Jerome, he's not that type of player. He's a pick and roll guy. He's a pick and roll and get my shot type of guy. Anthony Lamb, like same thing. He comes in, he wants to shoot threes, he wants to drive to the hole.
He's a spacer. Like Anthony Lamb, his job is to like space to the corner. It's not to put pressure on the rim.
And well, no, it's not even that. It's not even. It's to can you cut? Can you make a pass? Can you just be a David West or a Sean Livingston? Like they don't have those guys. JaMychal Green, that's another guy. They're not smart enough to play that style, which is what the Warriors always want to play, right? They're just like you said, they're just spacers, which is fine. But now we got to watch this. Because do you want Anthony Lamb making a decision? Do you want Ty Jerome like back? I just don't. That's what I think. That's what the Warriors are. But it also got kind of messed up with I think specifically Steph just coming in and not shooting for 30 minutes. Like that's makes life hard when that happens because you're just kind of you're just it's just like what is that?
He's got to, what was it? Ty Lue calls him the head of the snake. Like he's got to kind of be that guy.
Like it felt like should he have played tonight kind of thing. Like I was watching that and I was just like, why are you playing this game? It felt like a hey, we lost twice to Detroit, Orlando at home. Like I'm gonna go play this game, but then they lost anyway.
I wonder if this is why Steve Kerr is so like. Sometimes it feels like he's anal about getting guys a bunch of practice before they play in the game. Because what Steph looked like was a guy who weirdly didn't know how to play with everyone on the court and kind of floated and kind of let other players go until he started to get going. I want to talk about two guys real quick. Let's start with Andrew Wiggins. I kind of feel like Wiggins is going to be a key to the Warriors turning this around a little bit. I thought he was anonymous for 3 quarters, and he was anonymous in his first game back. And like, to me, it was pretty clear when you watch him, like, oh yeah, he didn't have his legs. He needed a little run to get, wind and all the normal stuff. But in the fourth quarter today, you saw exactly how important he is to this team. He finished with 6 steals. Didn't realize he had 6 total, but also kind of matches what I saw in the fourth quarter, which was when he decided to start asserting himself physically. Pretty impactful player, pretty important player for this team. And honestly, the biggest weakness I see from this Warriors team, there's 2 of them. One, it's just overall defending without fouling, something that Andrew Wiggins has done in the past. And the second is getting pressure on the rim. He's not like the most like downhill player in the league, but he can do it. He can cut. He can get in the hole. He uses athleticism in a lot of ways. And like a lot of the Warriors figuring this out and kind of looking something like what they were last year has a lot to do with him. Because he's that two-way athletic wing that like they kind of look unathletic and stale without him.
They do. And the defense is so bad right now. especially when Andrew Wiggins is rusty. And Draymond looks like, I mean, Draymond gave great effort in the fourth quarter, and you can kind of tell like he's trying to coast his way to get to the fourth. It's kind of
Yeah.
what you've seen with LeBron throughout the years, where, and even, I mean, maybe even Steph we saw tonight is just they can't give that much effort throughout, or else they're just gonna be cooked by the time the end of the game or even the end of the month rolls around. I tweeted kind of midway through the game. I'm like, hey, I know these guys are great. I know they're still great, especially when they're healthy, which they are right now. But there are going to be times that they just look washed out there. And that goes for Steph, Draymond, and Clay because they're just older. Andre, I mean, he might just be washed. He might not look washed. He might just be that guy. But it's
What'd you think of Andre?
he's fine. I mean, he's fine. He's not even looking at the rim. Like he doesn't do that before, but he like now he's like not even trying to. He also looks like he got bigger. I assume it's because you get older, you get bigger. But he looks bigger, slower.
Relax.
They put him at the 5, Sam. Right? It's like everybody becomes a 5 at some point as a Warrior. You know what I mean? Everybody's a 5. Clay's going to be a 5 for the Warriors next season. I bet you. Like it's only a matter of time.
That's just basketball. You become a 5. You start looking at it, you're like, is it time for me to retire, bro? I'm 6'6". How'd I get here?
How did I get here is really well, these are the moments where like Kuminga would have been a game changer tonight. And look, shitty game. They're down by 26 to the sea level Suns. Like terrible stuff. But these are the type of games where like Kuminga should be in there. And he's hurt. Not good, but he should be in there. Because he provides the energy, he provides the ball pressure that we saw from Wiggins. I mean, that's what they needed tonight.
No, totally. So I have one stat for you on tonight's game.
Oh boy.
20. The Warriors allowed 20 offensive rebounds from the Phoenix Suns. Match the eye test. And I feel like this team needs a trade. I don't know how else to put it. Honestly, Draymond and Looney look worn down, and they should be worn down because they're the only big men on this roster, and both of them are kind of undersized for their position as it is. Phoenix is not a particularly talented team, not the roster sent out there tonight, but if you want to get through the season and actually have your best guys competing when it comes in playoffs, you have to have enough bodies to make it through the season, and I'm legitimately getting concerned that they don't have enough front court bodies.
It feels like they know that. Monte Poole today wrote an article saying that the Warriors are all very much in trade discussions, right? Very much talking to other teams. We're about less than a month away from the trade deadline. So it sounds like they know that, which is encouraging. Now, whether they actually make a move or not, I don't know. The Light Years Discord, the goons, the hardcore goons today brought up that someone signed Derek Favors on a 10-day contract. I forget the team.
Shout out friend of the show, Grant Liftman, snaking the Warriors.
Was it the Hawks, actually? Wow.
It was the Hawks.
They need more than they're cooked. They need more than just Derek Favors. But that's an interesting move. I think like something the Warriors can do, maybe even now. They obviously have an open roster spot, but they're not going to do something like that. But they need something like that. Where if they're not going to swing a trade, they just need a big guy that just soaks up 10 minutes, man. Because Jack Lawndale, whatever his name. Like
Lawndale, yeah.
By the way, he's like not actually that bad. I say that jokingly, but he's actually not a bad basketball player. Bismack Biyombo looked like the second coming of Wilt Chamberlain down there for 10 minutes. Like what the hell was going on?
It's funny because like aren't those guys like kind of what you're asking for in the sense of like just give me 15 minutes of goon play. 15 minutes of goon play. Someone who can rebound the ball, maybe put a couple baskets in if they get around the rim, and foul some dudes. That's literally what I want right now, right? That sort of thing.
Yeah. So. I mean, that's the energy, right? The energy. I mean, those guys just bring the heat. It's kind of what JaMychal Green was for. It's what I look, the starters were terrible too. Jordan Poole on the bench, terrible until the fourth quarter or middle of the third quarter. So that's where truly the blame lies. But when you're talking about getting a team through, we talked about this. So when you talk about getting a team through 82 games, you need those dudes. You need the goons. You need Damian Lee. You need Jay. They don't have that. Those guys are injured or they're not good. So I don't know. Anthony Lamb tried to bring it. I'll tell you that. He came in, he tried to bring it, but He's not a Warriors player, man. Like JTA is a Warriors player. Anthony Lamb, as hard as he plays, is not a Warrior. He's a guy that's going in there trying to get it. He's trying to dribble to head down, dribbling to the basket, chucking up an early.
I kind of disagree with you, but like even if I agreed with you on that one, like they're both 6'4.5". You know what I mean? Like they're both just because I feel like Draymond convinced everyone that like just a 6'5" dude who plays hard can play center, on some level. So I kind of feel like it's more that they just need a dude with a little more size to do the job,
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that one. Maybe you're right, but like that's kind of how it feels.
Can they get more healthy? Like JaMychal Green just sitting on the bench. Like, Patrick Baldwin, maybe he deserved a couple of minutes tonight. Again, it's all starters, but what do we have here? What do we got here?
This is the Monty Poole article you're talking about. Steve Kerr said, "I'm concerned about Draymond and Looney," and we've talked about this in the past, but like Steph, I expect to be better than tonight. He looked rusty. Wiggins, I expect to be better tonight. He looked rusty. I don't really know how they overcome the Draymond and Looney thing. So that's why that's like kind of a concern for me.
I don't. There's no way around, because even if Wiseman comes back, like how much does he help? Like, that's the concerning part. At some point, Draymond's gonna sit 3 weeks. What's gonna happen there? JaMychal Green. Those are the two names. That's it.
Hasn't worked out.
The two names. Yeah.
He hasn't, like, he's not Otto Porter where it fit, but then he got hurt and we're just like, can he be healthy? But we know he fits. And then Wiseman, like, just be real. Like it hasn't worked in 2.5 years so far. So I don't know.
As long as it needs to be a player you're not guessing is going to be good enough. It needs to be a player that is good enough. So if they even, no matter how you feel about Jakob Poeltl, if he's great, if he's not, but if you trade for him, is good enough to play 15 minutes. That's that. Right now, it's like,
what you're getting. That's what you're getting at. Like, exactly who he is, what he can do, and what he can't do. And there's value in just kind of like, he's going to rebound. He's going to be a good passer. He's going to finish inside. He's going to fit into what the Warriors want to do and play that Bogut role. Maybe a little better offense, not quite as good defense type of thing. But you know what you're getting. Whereas, like you said, like, oh, maybe they should give Patrick Baldwin more shots. I like Patrick Baldwin. He's also barely 20 years old, Like, it's just kind of, there's a little, they need some certainty in the front court because they're not getting it from Wiseman and JaMychal, and realistically, Draymond and Looney are looking more and more tired.
Yep.
Should we take it to the goons a little bit?
Let's go. Let's roll. Who do we got?
We got Dan here. Mr. Dan.
Uh-oh.
Daniel.
Are we cooked? Are we cooked on the first one? Might have to keep it moving.
Fits the game.
Over one.
I know number 2 here is not going to ruin this, so we can get to our guy. Straight from Melbourne.
What's up, brother?
Sydney, Sam. Sydney.
Same thing.
No.
How far are they from each other?
What, 2-hour plane ride?
It's like saying someone from LA is in San Francisco.
It's about 1,000 Ks.
So SoCal or NorCal is kind of the same thing. SoCal.
You messed me up, Luke. What's going on, my man? I apologize. First off, I can't be any higher than the 8th most annoying person you've talked to today.
No, I'm gonna rat you out here a bit, but you know what I knew we were fucked today is when you left the playback stream. You had that annoying look on your face, like this going, and I was like, we're gonna fucking lose this. I can just tell. Midway through the second quarter, I'm like, yeah, we're gonna fucking lose this. I was like, nah, no good. Yeah, I thought about coming on, and I'm like, you know what? I'm so fucking annoyed about that game. I don't know if you heard what I was talking about on playback, but just try hard, just play hard. Like this fake fourth quarter stuff. If I was starting to play, what were we doing in the first and second quarter? Moody doesn't even get it on the court. Baldwin doesn't even get on the court. So you're already down 2 players there. What are we achieving then in post game after the game? And Kerr going, well, I didn't get the players ready. That's on me. No, it's not on you. It's on the roster construction to go, yeah, sweet. And like I said in that last show you guys did, it's about the 1 or 2 players. The reason I said 2 players is because I think one person has to get his feelings hurt for this to make this roster viable. Because at the moment you can tell Draymond has to play at an elite level to defend. And Looney looks slower. He looks like WD-40 when you spray it on your joints. You know, you got to get fucking wind up. He looks slower and slower each game.
Does look slow.
I mean,
yeah.
I mean, I'm that horny at the moment, Andy. I think I might even like what Cam Reddish at the moment, mate. That's how horny.
No, you do not. I assure you, you do not.
All I'm saying is that's not solving your problems.
I know, but after tonight, though, like what I'm saying is that if people aren't going to, if Lamb is the only guy that's having a go tonight, then what are we doing? Do you know what I mean? Like that was right in front of Lacob's birthday, like, you know, having a good go, like, yeah, all good, sweet. I mean,
there's a certain level of a lot of these Warriors players, their pride, their goal, I'm going to get 30. Like a lot of them is like, that's their goal. And you come out there and I'm watching Dwayne Washington Jr., Duane, fucking cook you. Take you to the woodshed. Dwayne Washington Jr., I had no idea who he was till a week ago because fantasy basketball, I had to pick him. Like, there's no reason to know who he is, and he is cooking you. The Warriors don't have anyone that has pride that wants to play defense, and the only people that do are, like you said, exhausted. Draymond, Looney, or Andrew Wiggins, who just came back 2 days ago. So other than that, you've got nobody is out there that's like, you know what, I'm going to get paid to defend someone. So when that happens, I'm just, dude, Mikal Bridges looked like Luka Doncic.
Oh,
it was insane. Insane.
No,
I mean, actually, he looked better than Luka. Like, Luka doesn't even look that good against the Warriors. It's crazy.
And I don't want to pick on the block. Well, actually, I do because he got the contract, so he's all good.
Go for it.
Jordan Poole has got to start, like, if Wiseman did what he did in that first quarter and second quarter looking mopey and just, like this going, okay. I'm not starting today. I guess I'm not going to give a shit. If any other player did that, Twitter and light years will be going all after him. He has to be better on the defensive end. We're not asking him to play like Steph and Draymond where just put a hand out there. Put your body on the line. Don't get beaten off a fucking split cut. He just looks like he doesn't want to try. Am I wrong there? Like, doesn't look. He looks cool. Like Damian, he couldn't even cook Damian Lee on one of those possessions. Like, what's going on?
He's. I was thinking he's trying to play like Jose Calderon out there. Luke Ridden, like he's trying to get guys involved. He had 4 assists at halftime, and part of it I think is like, well, if I'm coming off the bench, I'm going to get guys. Dude, you have one job because you're not playing defense, so you have one job. It's what he did in the second half, and he dropped 30 points in the second half. So it's like, dude, that's what you're there for, dude. That's what you're there for.
I'll give you credit, Andy, too. You've been skeptical of him for a while, too, and now it's starting to come to light. So I've got to give you credit for that because you were the first guys caller. Yeah, so, but I mean, I'll always back these boys if they try. I just don't want 3/4 of us watching play with all the goons just sitting there watching and going like, rebound, show some effort. Fucking grab a board, put a hard screen on someone. Like, just, you know what I mean? Just be tough.
Yeah.
Like, Mikal Bridges just looked like fucking MJ tonight because he played tough. He was putting his body on the line. Like, don't give me this, we're 40 games in now. I don't want to hear about, we're fine. Let's cross to Monte Pool. Do you think they're going to make a trade? I don't know. I think they're okay when they've got the starting line. No, they're not. We are one Draymond ankle twist and one Looney ankle twist away from this being completely fucked. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, it's not. We deserve. Like, this is a special team. We were investing $500 million in tax. Like, let's get serious. Like, we're a beautiful. You're playing one of the best cities in the world. You got the Light Years crew. Like, we've got this great thing going. Don't fuck it up. You know what I mean? Like, just don't.
Yeah.
Be better. Anyway, sorry, I'm getting too wet. I'm going to go to the course, but I just wanted to get that off my chest. But
Luke, I appreciate you.
I love you, boys. Take it easy.
You have a great evening / afternoon in your case.
He's got the fan going on in the background. It must be hot over there. It must be nice.
I mean, he's in midsummer.
Australia.
Based off my time zone work, it's
76,
probably
dude.
5 in the afternoon there.
It's 5.
He's
It's 5.
he's living the life, you know.
Wow,
It's good.
77. Yeah, it really must be nice. Jesus.
Oh, we got a quote here from friend of the show, Shayna Rubin. Steve Kerr on why it took so long for Warriors to apply pressure defensively and turn things around. I take responsibility for that. I clearly didn't have guys ready to play.
All right. It's not on Steve. Notice I didn't say anything about Steve. I didn't tweet about anything about Steve today. I don't think it's his fault.
I take responsibility.
But
yeah.
Big man Steve over here. Big man Steve. What do you think?
Should we get to it?
You think it's his fault?
I think they're disconnected. So I think the coach has some culpability, but I'm not going to be on him like he was given a team who's ready to go. Yeah. Also, like, you're right. Like, Kuminga could have really made an impact in this game. He's unhealthy. So it's a little bit of everything. He's part of that. You know, I feel like him taking the blame for it's just kind of like he knows his team is a little spiraling, and it's the time to do that versus get on their ass publicly.
He is one of the best. Yep, I agree.
Let's get to it. We have a special guest.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Oh my god!
What's up, Kev?
What's going on, man? This is Kev, Andy's brother, man. Big fan of the show. Shout out Light Years Podcast and Pacific Catch, man. Honestly, I just really got two things to say, man. Like, why number one, why Poole inevitably just falls down, slips every single play, happens to happen in the biggest moments, and Clay, who just shoots, jump shots, threes, which is fair. He got the green light, but it's just short for like the last two weeks and ongoing. Never seems to adjust for those things. Ben, last thing is, man, the only upside that I see is two-way Wiggs coming back with some stellar defense, and Draymond Green, just doing his thing down in the post. There was this one play was like a 2-3-on-1. He was just, howling those guys down. So that's good to see. But yeah, that's all I got, man. Thanks for the show. This is great. Love y'all.
That's my guy.
Appreciate you, Kev. The best.
By the way, there's only my little brother, only my little brother can be optimistic after a game like that. If for the listeners that know me and know my little brother, only he can be optimistic when a team is down 26 points to the worst Suns. The Clay stuff is interesting. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love the incredulous tone towards Poole. It's like, why does he fall down every possession? It's like, man, if I had an answer for that, I'd be selling it to the Warriors. I don't know.
Surprised he isn't on a date tonight. Actually, Tuesday night, prime time Santa Monica hours, baby. Come on.
Hey, Taco Tuesday, good discount,
right? I was gonna say something on Clay. Clay and Poole, it's like they kind of have the same, like, when they're struggling, sometimes you kind of have the same frustration with them, where it's like, Jordan Poole, can you just stop shooting 30-footers? We just need a good shot. And then Clay, it's the same thing. Why do you just keep chucking when you're off? And, that's what makes him so great. I mean, it's what makes him, they can go for 35 any game. But games like this are frustrating, man.
Yeah.
Those 6 minutes in the fourth killed me, Sam. Like, it killed me. Where
I'd almost rather they have not done it. Like, it's like, that's just because you saw enough there. That's like, come on, man. You needed to lock in for what? 18 total minutes.
18. That's it.
That's like what I was seeing the line at. Like, because they locked in for 9. I think 18 would have got the job done.
And they couldn't. It's that's how much it takes to beat a team like that. And they just, I don't know, man. They're going on a road trip here, man. They got San Antonio. It's not a hard first 3 games of the road trip, but geez, to homestand. I mean, to recap before we get the next guy on, Sam, they're 5-3 on the homestand, which, technically isn't that bad, I guess. Isn't that bad, but they lost the last 3 against 3 of the worst teams in the NBA. I think you could say, right? Like Detroit, Orlando, or the Orlando.
Especially when you look who's in uniform. Like, is Phoenix one of the worst 3 teams? No. Is Phoenix without Booker, CP, and Ayton? Yes. Like, these should be wins. But let's get to our guy, Ishan.
Yeah, let's go.
Coming up next. It's been a minute. Ishan, what's up, my man?
Hey, what's up, guys? I've been kind of grinding lately, and I like work a lot, and then I look forward to Warriors games, and that's like my 2-hour break. And these past 3 have just taken a lot out of me. But like, obviously, my assessment of this game right today was that obviously turnovers, no defense, no rebounding, mainly no offensive. Giving up offensive rebounds, no rim pressure, no rim protection, no shot making, and bad shot selection. But it just feels like it's just something every game. Like I want to ask you guys, like, why every shit team that comes in, like, we just lose to? Like, I just don't understand it. Like, at a point, it's like 41 games in. This is half the season, and we're the 9th seed or something, and below 500. Like, I'm tired of just kind of being gaslighted into saying like everything's okay, like it's gonna be fine. Like at a point, it's like, damn, like we're 40 games in, and it's just today I wanted to just rip my hair out. I was so frustrated with these guys, especially like, why should I have to watch this team when they're not giving the effort? It just like, I don't know, like going into every playoff series, or even if we do make the playoffs, like on the road for the first 2 games is going to be really frustrating because of dumb stuff like this. And why is it that we just can't beat these young athletic teams? That's all for me.
Don't worry, you got good hair, dude. You're fine.
First off, I'm gonna say Ishan's the caller of the night. You get the Pacific Catch gift card for the night. So I dropped our email in the chat. Send me your contact info. We're gonna get you a Pacific Catch gift card, order yourself some hot nudes. You'd be good to go that way. But look, man, do you think the team's not athletic enough? Like, this is an honest question for both of you, because I keep coming back to they need an injection of just a player who plays with some form of physicality.
If you don't mind me interjecting, it feels like they kind of just went on this like fake 5 win streak, and then like now like everything's kind of coming back to normal and how things are, like and this is who we are, like you kind of have this fake magical run where we're pulling out these close games, and then like now we're kind of reverting, and it kind of felt like that in 2020 where it's like, oh, we're kind of going crazy, everything's
right. Kelly Oubre scores 40, or like he's figuring it out, and
we're taking like 2 steps forward and then we take 3 steps back. It's just like, it just feels like we're going nowhere, and we're kind of running into the same issues. So I kind of agree with what you're saying on like, we need some presence. Like, I don't know how Bob gets that done. I don't even know what Bob does like during his day, because like
nobody does.
He just sits back and relaxes, because like, my goodness, got to do something, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, look, Steph's gonna get healthy. He's gonna play better. That helps. Wiggins gonna get his legs. That's gonna help. But it doesn't address, like, man, outside of like those core 5-6 guys, they shoot too many jumpers. You don't know where it's coming from, and it does feel like they need injection from the outs. They need someone. Maybe it's as simple as like randomly Wiseman figuring it out. I don't think it's going to happen, but like something needs to change.
I do think that's what Kuminga's role was going to be. I do think like that was what it was going to be, along with Dante. Like, those were the 2 guys that was going to give them a defensive identity, and they just 41 games, but they just can't get it going. They just can't get it going. And I don't know, man. I don't know. It could just be a mid-January, mid-regular season type of thing. But at some point, they got to go 15-5. At some point.
One frustrating thing to me is like with these injuries is that like obviously like Steph, Wiggins, and Kuminga, the 3 most important injuries I'd say, is like, yeah, like they get injured and it's great to have them back, but we keep forgetting that like I'm waiting for Kuminga and I'm like, oh, Kuminga's gonna solve this. Like, the athleticism is there. He's gonna be in the closing minutes. He's gonna be that rim pressure, rim protection, whatever, rebounding. But like it takes like these guys 2 or 3 games to like get back in the flow, and that's what's so frustrating. Like Wiggins, he just hasn't looked good until maybe the 4th quarter of today, but like those 2 games, like he's looked bad. Steph looked bad for 3 quarters. Maybe it carries into next game, I don't know, but like that's the whole part that we keep forgetting with injuries, is that like it takes them out of the loop of things, and like it just keeps delaying this like shit, and it's just annoying.
Yeah, it is. Ishan, appreciate you. Drop your info in that email I gave you.
The young stuff you mentioned is interesting. Just kind of young athletic teams coming at you. I think that's a sign of you're just old, dude. Like, I think that's a sign of you are just an old team. And I keep going back to it. You don't think if it was a one game winner take all that they don't beat the Phoenix Suns tonight, or they don't beat the Orlando Magic,
Sure.
or hell, they don't beat the freaking Boston Celtics if it's a one game winner take all. But it's freaking January, and that's where you need the guys like Kuminga, like Wiseman, like Moody, like Baldwin, like Jordan Poole, especially. I mentioned the other guys, but Jordan Poole especially. That's where you need those guys to step in and provide that energy. And I mean, Jordan Poole's playing like he's a 20-year vet. Like he's playing like he's a guy that's like, well, I'm just gonna chill and I got my money. Like that. Honestly, that's what it feels like with him. I got what I needed. Like I'm chilling.
I mean,
like I don't even need to I don't even want to play defense. You know what I mean? Like there's no pride doing that. So you can't just expect Draymond and Clay, 34 years old, to come game in, game out to bring that energy. Like it's not possible.
Yeah, but on the other hand, well, you're right. You can't expect those guys to bring energy every night. Like, no disputing that. But they need more big bodies too. That's the other part of it. I don't know. Well, let's get to some voicemails here. Tim, I hear we have a couple voicemails to get to. Let's do that.
Okay, we have like 3 weeks, right? Steph, Wiggins need to get healthy. And after that, they need to make a trade. And they're not winning the championship this season without fixing the front court problem. That's not happening if they don't do that. Like, I don't care what happens, what happens next, but they need to fix this problem. Like, they don't have enough shooting in front court. They're not big enough. They can't guard the rim. They can pressure the rim. Like, they need to fix that problem. Like, in 3 weeks. Yeah, 3 weeks to fix this problem. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're in trade season. I personally think they need to make a move, but I also, well, no, I've already said it multiple times on the show, but it's like kind of like it is what it is for another 3 weeks, right? Like they're either going to do it on February 6th or they're not. Not actually, much else to talk about, right?
Yeah. Let's keep moving.
Hey, Sam and Andy, it's Ebony. A couple of things. This game kind of is what it is. Steph Curry coming back. I mean, you always expect him to do something, but when they get down big, you know he's going to show up. And that's what he did. It was late, and I wish he'd done it earlier, but, Steph's going to Steph. My question is, if Iguodala doesn't get ejected, do they win this game? My other question is, on a scale of 1 to 10, how bad was Poole? I don't think he was terrible. And last thing, Damian Lee, like, how do you figure out how to play after you leave Golden State? Like, it's not that he was terrible in Golden State, but he sure didn't know how to shoot. So, that's it. Y'all have a good night.
Funny. You want me to? Okay,
I'm the only Damian Lee fan of the day.
Well, I mean, that was the best Damian Lee game I've ever seen in my life. That was incredible. I don't think he made a single mistake. 14 free throws. Honestly, I don't think Steph has ever shot 14 free throws in his life. I hear you talk Jordan Poole, and that's just a tough. I don't know, man. The third quarter is what the Warriors pay you for. You have to spark the team because this team only has 2 guys that can dribble, Steph and you. So why are you waiting till the third quarter? That's my only thing. I've said it all season. So it's not like tonight is the first time I've said it. It's your only job, brother, is to score. That's it. So why are you not looking to score? He only fell down once today. So, hey,
There's too much. I do
Good for
agree
him.
with you in the sense of like, there's good Jordan and there's bad Jordan. It's just like, bro, just be more decisive.
yeah,
So,
that is true.
like one of the things that Clay does, for better or worse, like Clay's getting his shots.
Facts.
He's doing them. He's getting the same shots every time. Jordan Poole, sometimes he's decisive. Sometimes he does like a weird, like, I want to be a playmaker. I don't know. He hasn't figured it out. And on some level, I do put that on Steve Kerr. Not fully, but like iron out roles for players is somewhat on the coach. So it's a little bit of everything.
But like, I think it used to be. At this point, though, you're pretty like Jordan Poole's not. He's got a long time in this league. He's got at least 10 more years. But at this point in his career, like nobody's really telling him what to do. Nobody's got to tell you what to do.
True.
You're good enough, dude. You're good enough, and you're gonna get.
Yeah, he's not a rookie. He's not a rookie. He's not like, you know, he's earned it. So yeah, it's fair.
By the way, he just had a quote. Jordan Poole. Oh, we got voicemail. All right.
Well, let's get the quote first.
Okay. Yeah, there's a quote out there. I think you probably see it on about Jordan Poole saying that it's time for them to go on a run. So I think that's the first time we've heard Jordan Poole say anything. So yeah, cool quote. Now they have to go on a run. So good luck. 3 road wins all season. Now they're gonna go on the road. So we'll see. All right, I'm ready.
I'm at the bathrooms at a BJ's right now, so BJ's are half off on Tuesdays, and fucking those most disgraceful shit things we fucking watched. Anyway, my hot take is that Steph is the most entertaining athlete in the last like 20 years. Like baseball, football, basketball, hockey. Steph, I don't have more fun watching anybody else other than Steph. Even when he's like having off nights, he does so much. Anyway, Suns game made me want to kill myself. But thank you guys. I love you guys. And bye. Okay, bye.
You got to get the Pazookies if you're at a BJ's on a Tuesday. Shout out to being at a BJ's on a Tuesday. Jeez. And in a bathroom, calling light years. You got to love the goons, Sam. What a way to kind of be the last call voicemail, though. Just, is there anyone else you put in that conversation, Sam? Top, most entertaining player in the last 2 decades of sports? Is there anyone that you would put in that conversation?
No, that's a fact. That's a fact. Frustrating game, dude. We'll be back halfway through the season. They're 20-21, man. That's just,
oh my god.
Hey,
the Brock Purdy and the Niners play on Saturday afternoon. All right,
they do. We'll get back to this. It's time to go. I've had enough of tonight. Later.
All right.